So what do we got here? Looking for the queen. Okay. So we're looking, we got frames. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 8 frames. A lot of bees. A lot of bees. Single brood, insulated hive, screen bottom board.
With a removable tray to keep the bees warm in the winter.
No upper vent. Water condenses on the top or on the edges, and the bees lick it off. What do we got? Okay, so this is a drone frame. We really don't use it to take it out and to throw it in the freezer and kill mites unless we really got a problem. What we use it for is to make drones. And then they also fill it full of honey, and it's winter storage, and then it'll be there in the spring. That's the goal anyway. Okay, a little bit of honey there. Not much. So there's pollen. I'm sorry, there's bee bread. So bees do not eat pollen in the winter. They do not. But they do eat bee bread. But there's good, man. There's honey. There's a little bit of fresh sugar water on there, it looks like. So lots of honey. I like to do a quick look for the queen. All of our queens are marked. Not to say, well, this time of year, they have not made a new queen. There's no way. There's either a dead queen, no queen. Looks good, though. There's a lot of food here. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's ridiculous, to be honest. I can't believe how much food. One single deep box, and all this food remains in the winter. January, there was 2 days above freezing, and every other day was below freezing. In February, we had 7 to 10 days of negatives. So they pretty much lived in the middle, and then they ate from here, from the front. They always live in the front, and they ate, and this was what they didn't eat. And you can see it's still there, and now they're backfilling. So I don't see a queen yet, and I don't see any brood. That's okay. She marked good? And there's brood. So now we got a little brood there, so we feel better about brood. She's laying. She is fully, so they get smaller in the winter when they're not laying, and you can tell that she is fattened up. She's ready to go. She looks great. Any brood on the other side, Mike? Oh, wow, a lot of bees. Yep, brood right here. Okay. So we'll just keep looking for honey. That looks great.
Did you see any eggs?
There were a lot of bees there. No. So that frame, there we go. Here's more brood. Now we just saw the queen. A lot of times in the summer where there's a lot of bees, okay. So I shook them off because Mike's seen that he found the queen. But if you look at this, there's tons of open and closed brood right there, all through this area right here. And on this side, same thing. Looks great. Once again, they ate from the front, they ate the food, and they left the food in the back remaining. This looks really good. So we're not going to add any food to these guys.
Have you seen any beetles?
Not one beetle. And there's brood here.
Wow.
And there's brood here. So basically the front of the hive and high is warm, and that's where they're laying. So here's first look here. Looking for the queen. She shouldn't be up here, but yep, hive beetle, one. One hive beetle means you got a bunch. So we're going to put the traps on this guy. Maybe 4 or 5 frames here. Single deep brood, insulated hive, screen bottom. Look at that. Look at all that honey. Don't think you need to run a deep and a medium. If you run an insulated hive, you can get away with less honey, less boxes, costs less money. But we'll see. We'll see how many bees we got in here. Let's get another frame. Now they ate this side, so I'm guessing we're going to start seeing some empty frames now. See, all this is gone.
Yeah, that one's all wet.
Yep, it's all wet. So they ate all that honey, and they ate from the front, and they didn't get all the way to the back. I tell you, this looks really good. That frame originally was in the swarm trap. A lot of food. Ridiculous amount of food. I never imagined we could keep this much food in the winter. They're backfilling that nectar. They're bees. They're getting ready for bad weather. It's great. Okay, here's a little bit of brood. I'll show you here. There's a little more brood. So there's a little bit of brood right here in the middle, or right here by my thumb. Once again, toward the front. They've got nectar surrounding it. Same thing here. I do see some uncapped brood there also. Some all ages. See this? Now, I should have been paying better attention. Look here. I was holding this frame and didn't hold it above the hive, and luckily she didn't fall off on the ground. But there she is. So that's good to see. We're just going to look at one more frame. We basically know they have food, we know they have brood, and we know they have a queen. There we go. More brood to the front again. It's funny, they're all in the same spot. This hive looks great. So there's a lot of bees here. I mean, they just weren't hanging at the top of the hive. So it'll be interesting what we have going on. Well,
Not so much.
be really careful in the spring when you pull your frames out the first time, because you could tear them apart. Great reason why you need to, you got it? Oh, great reason why you need to glue and staple your frames. Not just one or the other, do both. So there's honey here. I don't think there was probably a lot of honey on this side to start with by the looks of it. All right, here we go. What do we got? So there's honey. There's old pollen here. Bee bread. Nope, it's like bee bread they're putting nectar on top of. No queen, no brood, but ton of food. And a ton of bees. That's right, and a ton of bees. This is really a great thing to see in the spring. This would allow us, or will allow us, to start making honey pretty quick when the maples are starting to bloom in probably around March 15th. And we're trying to plus the bees up so we can make spring honey. Ow! Got a little stinger. First sting of the day. Kind of funny, I didn't really do anything to them, but sometimes they just do what they want. No queen that I see. They're looking. So we're going to take that fondant that we pulled off, and we're going to put it back in the, we're going to melt it down and feed it back to them. It's not bad. It's not trash. Okay, here we go. Let me make sure the queen's not here. We have brood on this frame. So I see there's no queen on this side. So before I move it above the hive, I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to try and look closely to see if I see the queen over here. And I do not. We're going to, I don't normally always shake them off, but just kind of want you folks to see the brood. Nice little patch of brood there. Same thing there, both sides. I see open and closed on this side, so it looks really good. There's a lot of bees here. I mean, the fact that the bees are tight on the frame like this, I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of brood in here. Queen. Here's a green dot queen right here. Just a second here. Let me look on the other side real quick. No brood. Okay. You guys see her at the top of the frame? She's kind of fat. And she's not a beast. She's not real big, but she's got a little bit of weight to her. Yep, right there. Mike pointed to her. Green dot on her. She's not moving real quick, but she's too. She's actually a smallest one we've seen so far. But I brought a marker, and if I see a queen, the markings are starting to come off, then I'm going to go ahead and hit her with another dot. Okay, so there's no brood. So basically, this queen just started getting going. There's 2 frames, 2 little areas, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, she just started to get motivated. What we got up top here? Looking for hive beetles, looking for anything. There's 8, 9 frames. I mean, it looks really good. The entrance is over there. So we're going to come over here and fight the propolis. Lots of bees. A little bit of mold in here in the back. Doesn't matter. They'll clean it up. They got a little comb on the bottom, bridge comb. They use it to climb up. I don't normally remove that. No brood yet, no queen. There's nectar all the way across. They don't really need the nectar. They really don't. But because of the other reasons I mentioned, we're probably going to keep feeding. May cut it back a little bit on how much we feed. They look good. This was one of our stronger hives last year. Okay, here's queen. She's not marked. What color is 24? Green, right? Okay, so I'm marking her because there's no way in the world this queen is this year's queen. It's impossible that she could lay brood, found drones, mated. It's impossible. So she must have been a last year late season queen that replaced the existing queen, or there's another green queen in here. So we'll see. But there's a little bit of brood there, not much. Some open, some closed. Not a lot going on here. There are multiple queens in a hive. At the same time, 2 healthy queens. I've never seen it. So, you know, I know it happens. I see the videos of it. So there's not very much brood here. Let's see. That's it. I see 9, 10 frames of bees. Looks great. The entrance is right here. So we'll come over here. Oh, it's honey. I think. Yeah. I don't know. It's not honey. I mean, they're putting it on there. Some old bee bread. A lot of bee bread, actually. And a bunch of fresh nectar. See, look at all that dripping. That is not last year's. That's the open feed, which is, you know, what we want. Okay, so what do we have here? We have brood here. I cannot believe the brood is over here. Let's see what we see. That's the interesting thing, you know. You don't know what you got till you get it. So, all right. So we got brood here. Tons of it. So let's just make sure. Okay. So I don't see a queen, but I do see a lot of brood. There's brood right there. Big old patch. So the big old patch of brood. And a big old patch of brood. Great. Okay. We'll put it back. Those bees will get right back on it. No worries. I'm not going to shake everybody off. I'm just trying to show it. So now we're looking for the queen. Let's make sure she's marked. That's all nectar. All right, they're motivated. We're motivated to bring food back, if nothing else. There's a lot of bees in this box. Oh my. This is a heavy frame. It's full of honey. Single brood. That's all it is, one box. Easy to manage. We're not looking for the queen in a bunch of boxes. So there were a couple hives that were lean, no doubt. They were lean. That's why we're checking, but the rest of them. So we probably won't breed back from the hives that are lean. We won't use those queens to breed because either they didn't put as much honey away last winter or last fall, or they ate it. Either way, why would we breed to that line of genetics that's either a fat pig or lazy? We're not going to do that. We'll breed to one of the ones that has a whole bunch of
Brood and honey.
These bees are really big. These are really large bees.
Is there brood on these?
No brood at all. It's funny, the entrance is here, and the brood is over there. Kind of weird. I mean, just unusual. No see queen. I mean, I'm going through pretty fast, but, if she's marked, we'd see her. Should. There's a lot of food here. Okay. So as we go back through this, we're gonna do one more look real quick. Oh, right here, son of a gun, green dot queen. See her on the bottom? Entrance is over here. Most of the bees are over there. I'd say there's 8, 9 frames of bees. It looks really good. Okay, so we have a problem here. Remember I was telling you about frames falling apart? Well, all the frames that we have that we build, we glue and nail and staple. But we've gotten some stuff from other folks who don't. And this one,
You want to
it's full of honey. And it's full of bee bread. It's broken. The frame is trashed. But, so what are we going to do with this frame? We're going to set it out. There's a hive beetle. We're going to set it out, and we're going to open feed this honey, which I know people will squeal. This thing is full of nectar. We'll say 1-to-1 sugar water. It's full of sugar water is what it's full of. We're at tons. Let's see what we got here. Let's give her a shake. See all that liquid? That is definitely this year's. Boy, these bees are nice and fat. A lot of bee bread in here, which is good. That means they can go right to making babies. Boy, these are big bees. Okay, no brood, no queen yet. Roger. I didn't say the temperature today. I think it's probably about 62 degrees. Oh, here we go. Green dot queen. You see this queen? Right there, see the queen? She's brown. She's nice and fat.
angle it towards point
Right there. And there's brood, captain. Their brood is all the way down to here. All the way down here. And brood on the other side. Same thing. Probably a quarter sheet of brood. So when I put that queen frame in here, I slide it over to the next one just so we don't squish her later. I know where she's at now. She's going to move. Okay. There's no honey on this. This is just all nectar. So this hive here, I mean, there was some honey on that first frame that was broke. There's no doubt. But there's not a lot. They pretty much ate everything. All these is empty. So we'll probably add 2 frames of honey. I think it's this one. The bees, one there. Uh-oh. So, what do we got here? Okay, where's the entrance? It's over here. It's funny though, I see more bees on that side. So, you know, nothing's always anything. So this, a lot of honey. Nice sheet. They didn't touch it all winter. But this thing's full of nectar. It's a long way from dehydrating the honey, though. It looks great. These bees look good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, yeah, drone brood. So this probably was out of a swarm trap at one time.
It says on the bottom.
But doesn't hurt anything. They do what they want. They make drone brood out of it, or fill it full of honey. Or in the summertime, if it gets full of honey, it can be pretty floppy because there's no structure to it, and the weight can be a problem. All right, so we ain't seen any brood. No indicator of a queen yet. There we go. What's going on here? It's all nectar, or hate to call it nectar. Anyway, no queen there. I mean, so far we're 100%. But I see brood. Just a fat bee. That's not a bad thing. Fat bees. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I'll tell you, I always like to see the queen, but if we don't see her, it is not the end of the world. Let's look at the other side real quick. Oh, more brood. She's over here somewhere, I'm sure. It's all right. We don't see her. It's not the end of the world because there's brood here. Quite a bit of brood. Looks really good. Just going to do a quick one here and see if she's... Sometimes they get over on the wall. I don't see her, though. Okay. But there's food. There's honey. She's about the middle on brood, you know. She's like pretty solid on 2 frames. We'll go back through just to see if we spot her on the back side. Notice I'm keeping the frame above the box. So if she's on the bottom, and right there, green dot queen. She is, I'm not going to mark her. She's marked pretty well. She must have been laying on the bottom, but I mean, she's fine. Answers that. It's always nice to see the queen. Okay. Not as many bees. So this queen is actually another 2023 queen. We were just experimenting to see if we can keep her alive for 2 years. So interesting. So there's a 1, 2, 3, maybe five frames of bees. The entrance is here. The bees are over there. It feels light. Feels pretty light actually. We'll see. A little bit of honey. It's funny, there's really no rhyme or reason where they put the nectar. They just put it everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not like they're piling it all in one frame or two frames. They're just,
There's so much of it.
yeah. This one's pretty empty. We'll probably add, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know.
That's,
So they from the front of the hive and didn't get all the way to the back. Same here. You can tell that they ate this over the winter. You can see that they ate from the front and the bottom and basically got to here and they didn't need it anymore on this frame. Not as many bees here. This queen's 2 years old though. There's a reason. We normally change queens every year, but just thought to try. And the dark blue is rocking, so it definitely worked with that one. But you know, this does not look as good. It's just a thing. I don't see any hive beetles either. Tell you though, there's not a lot of bees here. We should be able to find the queen here. There she is, red dot queen. Right there. Okay, so she is a little plump.
that looks good.
So it indicates that she's plumped up like she wants to lay. A little bit of brood. To be honest, doesn't look great. Just a little bit. I see some open, not very much. There's a red dot queen now. All right. So let's see if there's any more brood. So we'll probably, I mean, it ain't going to hurt to drop in 2 frames of honey. If for no other reason, just to get the thing ready. When we go to relocate it, it could go for a little bit until the alfalfa is in bloom. So I'm going to turn it toward them to encourage them.